So, like every other year, this year there's another DJ Mag competition.
Yeah.
Out of all of the previous winners, and never mind. Out of all of the previous winners, who do you think had the most effect on the EDM scene?
On the EDM community, as in like all all electric genres,
Yes,
right?
There's a list of everybody.
Okay. Yeah. No, I definitely think by far Tiësto. Okay. Yeah, I think what Thijs did was taking the DJ Mag list from a thing that was really something in the industry, you know, to like a level where, you know, where it went far outside that, to mainstream media, you know, with the Olympics and everything after that or whatever before, I don't even know, but you know, that whole moment, right. I think, yeah, created a massive buzz about dance music in general. Yeah.
And in terms of your own career, was Tiësto also then the most influential?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was Tiësto, Armin, myself. We all sort of like launched, you know, at the same time. Tiësto definitely more as a DJ, me more as a producer. Armin, yeah, also a little both, I guess. I think for my career, honestly, because my career really took off in the UK. I think the biggest influences would have been Pete Tong and Judge Jules, I guess. Yeah.
What was it about his music that worked for you?
Well, for you know, their influence on my career was more because they had like massive radio shows.
Oh, right.
You know, around this, like the biggest radio shows for this genre in the world, and they were constantly supporting my stuff at the time. So you know, really playing a lot of my music, and I think that support really just created a lot of hype around me, and lifted me up. Right. You know? Yeah.
If we go back to those early days, and especially since, well, like you said, with Tiësto and then certain Calvin Harris, kind of yet certain moments where dance music exploded.
Yeah.
How do you look back on those early years?
Yeah, really, with a great sense of achievement in a way, you know. We were all going for something that we really loved. Many of us still do, of course, but you know, it was a little bit more innocent than now. You know, now it's you see AD as well. It has grown into such a monster. Right. It's such a business, and I think back in those days it was just a little bit more, you know, free and just like trial and error. We'll see, and that's really what I liked about it when I look back at those times. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because, and this, I might see it wrongly, but when you started out, there wasn't such a thing as becoming a famous DJ, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
So what motivated you to kind of pursue this thing?
Well, for me, I started out, my career started from a producer's side, right. More than a DJ. Right. So I was, you know, I was producing a lot of music, which all, you know, especially in the UK, went into top 40 and it became successful there without me intending that, you know. I just made music that I loved. And from there on, I received a lot of interest from the UK if I would be DJing as well. And all of a sudden, I was like, you know what, maybe I should give it a try. I never wanted to be a DJ. Okay. You know, for me it was like, okay, DJing, especially because you said, and that's exactly why, there wasn't such a thing as a superstar DJ. You were just a DJ in the back of the club, whatever. You know, that DJ culture wasn't there yet. So I wasn't really keen on being the guy working in the weekends, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I was really happy to be a producer, you know, and being my own little bubble. But yeah, after a while, you know, those records became really successful. I had a chance to actually, you know, play for amazing crowds in like some of the biggest super clubs, which were then in the UK.
Right.
And yeah, gave that a shot and never looked back really.
In terms of producing then, and then kind of with one eye on what you're doing now,
yeah.
And we'll get into that in a minute, but Did you listen a lot to soundtracks and those kinds of things?
Those days, not really, no. When I was really young, I was listening to a lot of the like American, like electronic rap,
Right.
Afrika Bambaataa and stuff like that. You know, that kind of stuff. Italo even, you know, and I think that was like the basis for what I started doing after with trance. You know, those little riffs. That's definitely, you know, stems from like early Italo stuff. So film scores, I listen to a lot of film scores now, and have been for quite a while now. That just came later, you know, when I started really developing a sense, like a taste for almost like classical music in a way.
Right.
As my inspiration.
And especially those early days, and kind of when you're trying to figure out what you want to sound like. How important is the mood you're in, and kind of your mindset? How important is that? How important is your mood or your mindset on what a song will sound like or a track will sound like?
That can really change throughout the song, really. You know, you start really like heroic, like okay, I'm gonna make this amazing trance track right now, or I'm gonna make this super groovy house tune, and then halfway, you just like something happens in the process. And all of a sudden you're making the quite opposite, you know. So yeah, mood. I mean, it's mood. It's luck as well, you know.
Okay.
It's just I've had a couple of tracks in the past where I just happened to land my hands on the keys in the perfect order, and I heard half of the melody already. It's like, oh wow, and, you know, and then you take it from there. Sometimes it just it happened when I was just like not feeling it at all, not getting any inspiration, and just said like, okay, you know what, maybe I just use my time wisely and start making sound effects or do something else. And you touch something and all of a sudden, oh, there you are. That's the melody, you know, that's the hook that I was looking for.
Is there one big one that sticks out for you in terms of being kind of like a happy accident?
Yeah, punk.
Okay.
My track punk. Okay. Yeah, it was 2001. That was definitely like, I guess, the one that I was referring to. Going through the sounds and landing your hand on the keyboard, and it's almost there. And having the perfect sound right then, the preset, and you know, and oh, that's the track. You know, it was done in 4 hours. So.
And with those kinds of songs, then how do you look back at them over time? Because they start so spontaneously. How do they evolve them from there on?
Well, when those tracks become anthems that like 10, 15, 20,000 people are singing along to a melody.
Right.
You know, it's like, wow, that was definitely a lucky moment, you know. And even if you think like right now, okay, I'm just gonna try to do the same trick again, forget it. It's just, if I look for like the same melody, type of melody, you know, you're trying too hard, it's just not happening. And so embrace it. So I had that lucky moment, and you know, move on and look for something else. And if it comes again.
Finally, about this kind of part of the early on in the career, when did you notice that the music that you made could affect other people?
I think that was more when I was DJing already. Like, you know, I had a couple of years of DJing, and I started seeing people with tattoos. Okay. My name tattooed, like, you know, and then there's one person having Ferry Corsten all over his back. It's like, wow, that's crazy, you know. And then this was like 2000, 2001 or 2.
Right.
So very early on, and yeah. And then later on, you know, I mean, for you to do that, it must mean to something to you, right?
Right.
So and then later on, when social media started to become bigger and, you know, more active on it. Yeah, I mean, you release a track, and then, you know, later on you read comments like, yeah, I was in Iraq, and it helped me through my time there as a soldier, right, and stuff like that. So really personal stuff that when people really had like tremendous sort of mountains to climb and to just like deal with in their life, you know, and it's that music that carries them through, which is just amazing.